Alright, good evening, viewers. My name is ExParrot, and I will be your tour guide on this Guilds of Ravnica draft. Drinking my refreshing beverage here. We're going to do a competitive Guilds of Ravnica draft tonight, which means we'll be drafting 3 packs of Guilds of Ravnica. You'll build a 40-card deck. You'll play best of 3 matches, not best of 1. Price support is as follows at the bottom. For 0 wins, you get a pack. Period. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. You get a pack. I'm going to make sure everything's still working alright on this. Looks like it is. Alright. And then the number of packs you get is equal to the number of wins you get plus 1. Your break-even point for gyms is at 3 wins. You play until you get 2 losses. So you can lose 1 match, but after the second match, you're out. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And we're going to go ahead and get started immediately here. Let's see what time is it. 7:28. Yeah, close enough. So, what do we got here? Crackling Drake is alright if I want to go into Izzet. Current's alright. Underrealm Lich can be a beating if I want to go Golgari. Not necessarily a fan of Golgari in this format, though. Oh, my throat's just irritated tonight, so bear with me. Botcher in the Mist and Crackling Drake are both pretty good here. I think I'm going to go Watcher in the Mist right off the bat. First pack, generally, you're going to want to pick the best card and not worry about colors yet. Night Veil Sprite's not bad. Direct Current's good. I mean, I can still stay at Izzet with those colors if I want to go Izzet. Now we have Capture Spear, Fresh-Faced Recruit, Sunholm Stalwart, Response, Resurgence. Which Response can be splashed into Izzet or Boros. Fresh-Faced Recruit's a pretty decent creature, too. I'm going to go ahead and take Response Resurgence. I may regret that. I think here the best card that I have a choice for is Hypothesizal, which is a great card. Now we have a Chemister's Insight, a Whisper Agent, and I love Whisper Agent. I'm going to go ahead and go with the creature plus Surveil 1. Now we got a choice between Muse Drake and Hellkite Whelp. There's Sonic Assault as well. I've never been big on Sonic Assault, though. I think I'm going to go Hellkite Whelp. Now we have a Smelt Ward Minotaur or a Garrison Sergeant, which if you have gates, Garrison Sergeant can be pretty decent, especially if you have ways to pump him up or mentor him. I'm going to go with the Smelt Ward. It looks more and more likely that I'm going to go Izzet. I'm going to go ahead and take the Electromancer. I'm going to need more spells to make this work, though. Let's go Ribble Belt Boar. Disdainful Stroke is a fun card for the mid-game. Maximize Velocity. Let's go Cosmotronic Wave, which is great for picking off little weenie creatures or Dazzling Lights. Let's do Ladev Guardian and Candlelight Vigil. Alright. Unmoored Ego. Here is where I do one of my usual, hey, guess what? I'm not sure I necessarily like all the cards, but I do need this for outside of the draft and standard. So I'm going to take the Unmoored Ego because it's a card I've been playing in Dimir more recently to deal with Nexus of Fate decks. Let's see what I get past. A Muse Drake or a Piston Fist Cyclops. I like Piston Fist Cyclops. It's a great creature. Man, that splashes so well. Connive Concoct is a great card. Even if I can't cast the Concoct part of it, Connive can let me steal a Guild Mage or something else off my opponent. Or worst case scenario for them, great for stealing Aurelia. Now I'm looking at a maximize altitude, a sure strike. I don't need too many electromancers. I'm not going to need to necessarily pump my spells down that much. Let's go with sure strike. It's a great combat trick. Radical idea. Hypothesizzle is a must-have. You know what? We're going to go ahead and take a Barging Sergeant just to make sure I have creatures that I want. Boros Locket would actually let me splash Resurgent pretty easily. And I could sacrifice it later to draw a card. I always have a soft spot for a Maniacal Rage in my deck. Take a Devious Cover Up. That can come in handy. Why not? Wall of Mist. Wishcoin Crab. Now it's in my color. I'll take Book Devourer. It's not necessarily something I want. Vicious Rumors. Alright, so, final pack. Unexplained Disappearance. See, I'm not seeing anything that's just fantastic for my deck. I could use a Temple Garden. I have 2 Temple Gardens according to my MTG tracker, so this gives me a third. If I were in Boros, this would be a great pack. I'm going to go with the Fresh-Faced Recruit because it could be a nice beating, especially if I put Maniacal Rage on it. Donna Hope is garbage. Goblin Locksmith is We're going to go with the Unexplained Disappearance. Ionize fits perfectly into this deck, and that gives me my playset of Ionize. So, we're going to take a Guild Gate. I don't want to be too heavy on counter magic. Really? So that Kira is going, oh hey, you want a Sinister Sabotage as well? I'll take the Unexplained Disappearance. Take the Sure Strike. My colors are getting picked over. Not the way I want to end the draft. Alright, let's do a Healer's Hawk. I don't think I'm going to splash that heavily into white. But Radical Idea or Hammer Dropper. How many spells do I have that trigger off of instants and sorceries? Let's see. Piston Fist, Smelt Ward. My creature base is lacking, unfortunately. So, I may take the Hammer Dropper and splash white a little more than I intended. Garrison Sergeant. Yeah, I put myself in this position. I got no one to blame but myself. I don't think I'm going to play the Torch Courier, but I'll go ahead and grab him. I'll grab a Radical Idea, the Death Guardian, Hunted Witness. Alright, now I gotta make something out of this mess. So we're going to definitely get rid of Vicious Rumors, because, you know, that's not going to get played. We're going to end up dropping those. We'll drop that as well. So I've got a lot more combat tricks than I intended. This gives me 3 plains and 2 white sources. It actually gives me Temple Garden as a source as well. But honestly, I don't want a Temple Garden in the deck. There's no reason for me to have that. So let's see, that's 9, 10, 16, 17 lands. I got 16 cards to drop. Candlelight Vigil. We'll drop the Death Guardians. I may come back for those. And oddly enough, the deck's still going to splash me a Swamp so I can cast the Concoct part of it. And I may keep it in there because you never know when a Concoct to bring back a big creature could come in handy, like Watcher in the Mist. How many gates do I have? 1. That's not enough to really run Garrison Sergeant, I think. Otherwise, if without a gate, I'm paying 5 mana for a 3/3, and that is just not value. I'm going to drop that Devious Cover Up for the moment. I'm already stacked pretty high on the creature base on the high end of things. I've got Ionize still, and I'll have Disdainful Stroke. I think we have enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we need to drop that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got a lot of instants and sorceries in this deck, a lot of spells. As much as I hate getting rid of Book Devourer, I think it's on the expensive end of things. Let's see, how many creatures do I have left? Let's count just creatures I can attack with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 creatures. So we'll put that back in and go to 12 creatures. My mana is just going to be all over the place. I may end up having to play 17 lands, which I don't like to do necessarily. We're going to go ahead and drop Sworn Companions. It's not going to be that useful. Thing drops me down to 2 white sources of mana, because I only have 2 cards in the deck that require white at the moment. Which is going to be the Hammer Dropper and the Response Resurgent. Fresh-Faced Recruit can be cast off the red. Alright, alright. I'm sure if anybody's watching this video by now, they are probably yelling at the screen going, "What the hell are you doing?" I'll go ahead and hate dropping Radical Idea. But it's just for triggering things. I have plenty of spells to let me trigger things like Piston Fist Cyclops. I think we can drop down to 1 Hammer Dropper, although that drops my creature base again. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drop a Hammer Dropper. We're going to be a more creature than aggro, or more spell than aggro deck. And it may not work out well, and if it doesn't, well, you know, I learn. So Maniacal Rage can just go. Hate to see it gone, but let's face it, it's going to be one of the weaker cards in this deck. Wall of Mist is a great defender, but I've got Unexplained Disappearance. I still need to drop 2 cards. I got 7, 8, 16, 17 lands, and I really want to keep it at 17 just because my deck tends to be stacked a little more on the high end right now. Drop 1 Sure Strike. I really want the Concentronic Wave. That can be a great way to end the game. And deal 1 damage to all my opponent's stuff. Hypothesis is just so good. Removal. Plus draw 2. Do an Unexplained Disappearance. I'm sure after game 1 I may be looking at my deck, or after match 1. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm not going to sit around waiting. Volkmore says nope. I'm not sure what you were saying nope for. Sorry. But thankfully, if memory serves, these online draft matches are continuous build, whatever they call it. So if I need to make changes between matches, I can. At least I know in the casual drafts I can. Alright. Pusheen, I think is what the name of my opponent is. And it appears they will be playing first. really? God. I'm gonna be stupid and take this hand. I do have a turn 2 play. That's a decent turn 2 play. That's all I need is a third land, preferably blue down the road, and I'll be okay. I'm not screaming at you. Oh, okay. That's fine. Glowspore Shaman. So we're playing against a deck that is... looks like... Golgari Graveyard. And already my opponent is coming out with the aggro. So my Glowspore, or my fresh-faced recruit may not be long for this world. Because if he attacks, I will go ahead and block. Erstwhile Trooper. That's one of those I'm not a big fan of because it's been a beating in my face I don't know how many times. He's going to swing with just the Imp. It's bad enough that 3 cards in hand. You know what? I don't know how many creatures he has, but I don't know he's going to want to drop them too many times. So, let's see if this is a mistake. I can get up to 5 mana, get a blue mana. Hypothesis comes online. That makes things a little bit easier. Well, opponent's going to take a look at my hand. They get to choose a non-land card, make me discard it. So they know exactly what I have. The question is, what are they going to go ahead and discard? Make me lose a hypothesis, eh? Interesting choice. Combat step, and they're considering it. Just the erstwhile trooper. Anybody else smell the ambush here? Anybody else, or is it just me? We will go ahead and drop the Boros Locket. He knows very well at this point that I have Sure Strike online. Because he knows what's in my hand. So let's see how he wants to play this. Or she. I don't know the sex of my opponent. And I am recording tonight's match. So it'll be available on my YouTube channel later, ExParrot42. Let's go ahead and choose the recruit block. Because I really don't want to lose the Smelt Ward Minotaur if I can help it. Do I want to go ahead and Sure Strike it? You know what? Why not? He knows I have it. There's no point in worrying about it. Now, he may respond with his own spell, in which case I get a 2-for-1 blowout, or give him one. If not, though, I take out his creature and keep mine. Erstwhile Trooper has been a pain in my butt, because if against an opponent who has a lot of creatures and a deck that really benefits from that, they've been able to do a fair amount of damage to me. I may actually... well, no, I need one more red source of mana in order to crack that. Okran Assassin. Yeah, this is not good. And still no blue source of mana. If I swing with both... Means you can kill the Smelt Ward with the Assassin, but my 2/1 First Striker still exists. He decides to let it through. Interesting. One more land, and I could drop the Book Devourer, which would be nice. I also have Unexplained Disappearance and Dazzling Lights online. Dazzling Lights is a great way to deal with that assassin. And speak of the devil. You know what? We're going to go ahead and just attack. I've got the Hypothesis online as an instant. I made Dazzling Lights that Glowspore Shaman to keep my creature alive. I know it's already blocking, it doesn't matter, but I want to see what my opponent will do. I don't have many creatures in this deck because I drafted badly, so I need to keep what I got alive and throw my opponent off balance. And they're already going to rope. Hopefully they're just thinking about what they want to do. And the answer is they want to go ahead and pump their creature up to the point where... Oh, that Cosmotronic Wave is so good. Alright. They're going to kill my Smelt Ward Minotaur, which... Oh well, but I'll drop Cosmotronic Wave next turn and wipe his board. Plus I'll have Hypothesis as well. Okay, well, scratch the Cosmotronic Wave. I need to go ahead and Hypothesis let Vigor Spore. Now I'm going to take some beating. Straight up. I had enough mana for both. Go ahead and... Well, I don't want him to have a pump spell and save his worm. Discard Unexplained Disappearance. We'll keep the Fresh Face Recruit back as a blocker. Second blue source gives me Watcher in the Mist, which is a great flying creature. Just superb. Book Devourer is also ready to come online at any time. Yeah, I don't want to take 3 more damage. But I'm already falling behind this game. I just gotta stay alive long enough to get Book Devourer up on the board and keep it alive. Get the Watcher in the Mist on the board, and then I'll kind of stabilized. Oh, really, dude? Really? That's game. So, already losing game 1. I think one of the things I've noted before was I have not really gotten the hang of drafting Guilds of Ravnica yet, and I think it shows. Oh, man. I don't really want to splash more white for stuff there, but I may have to. It'll adjust the land for me. So we're going to drop the lesser used creatures for things like Ledev Guardian. Maybe even a Candlelight Vigil. I still gotta drop 2 cards. Since he clearly has some of the weaker stuff. I'm gonna get rid of Response Resurgence for the moment. We'll get rid of Sure Strike. Try and play a slightly more controlling deck. Basic land plains. I'm not going to concoct. I'm going to drop that swamp for an extra plains. And we'll see. If this plays a little better, I'll make changes after the turn or after this round's over. I will be on the play. Nope. Gonna mull it. Throw it back. Oh my lord. I really don't want to go to 5. But, I mean, this hand is garbage. So it looks like we're going to go right off the bat with a loss. You know, I played 17 land, so I wouldn't get mana screwed. I'd be able to drop all the land I need. Well, there's land number 3. One more and I can get Ledev Guardian on the board. And there's my opponent's Assassin. I don't want to lose the Guardian immediately. Let's see if I can't find one more land for Hypothesisal. Erstwhile Trooper. There we go. Hypothesisal is an instant, so I can wait till my opponent's turn, see if they got some kind of a nice trick they want to throw. Iron Shell Beetle on the Assassin. What do you think the chances are that they have their pump spell for the Assassin? One way to find out, right? Except in this case, just the Erstwhile Trooper. You know? I love having Connive for that Assassin. Looks like I'm playing Jeskai now. Ogryn Assassin will stop his biggest creature. Period. He will not do anything. I have no need to attack at this time. So Hellkite Whelp, and then we're going to convoke this guy in. Now I'm tapped out, I know. Let's see what my opponent wants to do. He's only got one creature in the graveyard, so Vigor Spore Worm is not as bad at this moment. Swarm Guildmage. You know what? We're going to have some fun. I've been on defense for too long. Ping. Of course, now I run the risk of hypothesical whiffing if I um, draw 2 lands off the top. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means I should have 9 lands remaining. Well, Necrotic Wound. There goes my Hellkite Whelp. And it's exiled. Back to square one. Oh, it looks like my opponent may be a little heavy on land. So I will swing while I have the chance. Affectionate Indrik. Well, let it resolve, put the trigger on the stack, and hope to draw a non-land card. And I drew 2. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm gonna get rid of the creature. Disdainful Stroke could be such a blowout if I catch him at this point. Now the fight will fail. Two damage versus take out a big spell. Maybe the wrong play. It might be. I've been known for making wrong plays. Alright, Swarm Guildmage, that's alright. Once it gets online, he can start taking care of the life gain, or the damage I'm doing with his life gain. Till I can draw something other than land. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10 land. I can always Dazzling Light at the end of the turn to Surveil 2. Which actually might be what I do. So what is he thinking? He's going to gain 2. He's going to deadweight my creature. Well, that makes mine a 0-2 blocker. And we are definitely going to surveil 2 lands to the bottom. So glad I did that. That's useless for me. Now he's going to start gaining life back, which is bad for me. And that Pilfering Imp is going to be able to look at my hand and take my stroke away. Unless he wants it for aggressive combat. Put me on a 19-turn timer. Choose to gain 2 life, not a bad decision. He did not kill that, so I will go ahead and get rid of his creature. Because I do not need him taking my Disdainful Stroke. Vigor Spore Worm would be very bad for me right now. Speak of the devil. Now I need to start drawing some beef here in a hurry. Well, it's something. Electromancer can go on board and attack. Oops, attack with the Death Guardian as well. Generous Stray. That'll get him a card. 18 left in his deck. He's got at least 2 Vigor Spore Worms total. It's the last thing I need. Wish I knew what the last card is. I'm thinking it's a land. I think he's trying to bluff having something and count. Gain 2. Big surprise. Go to 15 and pass turn. Swing for 4. Into turn, I'll crack the Boros Locket. See what I can pull out of it. Gain 2. Alright, let's check decks. 17 to 15. The hypothesis all I had. In combat, my turn. Let's crack it. And there is Watcher in the Mist plus my Ionize. So that is going to ramp things up big time. We'll surveil the mountain down. And we're going to keep direct current on top. Leaves me 11 in the graveyard. Take them to 9. I can take that Swarm Guildmage out next turn. If I draw a land, I can actually take out both creatures. I can Ionize one of his spells, like this one. Perfect timing. Plus, does 2 damage. Actually, that should be lethal next turn no matter what. Because if worst comes to worst, I swing... Well, son of a gun. I was going to say swing 3 in the air and then shoot him twice with direct current. But never mind that. At the very least, I need to make sure he can't gain any more life off of that. Oh, yeah, I guess it would help if I actually had another card to flashback direct current, so it wasn't guaranteed lethal. When you have somebody on the ropes like this, don't screw around. Just go for it. Pack favor, they're going to go ahead and pop up my Guardian to make sure it's lethal, and we go to game 3. Alright, yeah, I needed to make my deck more Jeskai. I have to refresh my drink already after this game. And then after this match, I'll go ahead and make these changes to my main. Then I should be in better shape overall to make a Jeskai aggro. I don't know why I wasn't... I was all worried about how many creatures I had, how low it was. And there I was sitting on 2 Convoke creatures. At a minimum. And yeah, I put in the... Hope to God my deck didn't just go back to the way it was before, because my agent on the left is showing my original deck. I can't imagine why it wouldn't have kept it. There it goes. Now it should be. Well, no, it didn't update. MTG agent doesn't handle drafts very well. I think that's just the way it works, because it showed me having 2 hypotheses still, even though I didn't. They went to 6. I'm going to keep, because I do have a turn 2 and time to... With 17 land, I have time to draw land 3 and 4. With land 3, I can actually convoke Ledev Guardian in. They mulled to 6 and scryed to the bottom. And they don't have a turn 2 play. I do. Oh, land 3 would be nice. But if I get land 3 now, Boros Locket might almost be a better choice. Because that allows me to drop the Hammer Dropper. And a 3rd land lets me drop the Rubble Boiled Boar. God, I hate that cat sound. That is not the way a cat sounds, people. I know. Cast your spells and play your land second main phase. I'm lazy. Okay, I need to make an adjustment to the audio. That music was getting a little loud. Oh, Beast Whisperer, such a good draw. Now I really wish I had one more land for Hypothesis. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Hammer Dropper, though. Because next turn I can Mentor and make him make a difficult decision if he wants to block. If I can draw land number 5, Beast Whisperer goes off the board, period. That's way too much advantage for him. Even against an Okran Assassin. 2 cards off it already. Not what you want. The Assassin's going to be able to block the Hammer Dropper, which, you know, it sucks, but such is life. The fact they're attacking with Generous Stray feels an awful lot like an ambush. I'll be more than happy to take one. There's land number 5. I'm going to main phase the Hypothesis. I only want to give him the chance to be able to generate any more value off of this. Worst comes to worst, I can Dazzling Lights the Assassin. Much as I hate getting rid of the 4/5, it's the least useful creature I have. And it just occurred to me, if he has a pump spell, he could pump up his Beast Whisperer now and save it. Bad magic, Steven. Bad magic! There it is. Son of a gun. Well, screw it. I don't think I can race my opponent, but there's no sense in trying, or no harm in trying. Again, Dazzling Lights now makes a very useful combat trick against the Okran Assassin. Because he blocks Hammer Dropper with the Assassin, I just go, okay, fine, no worries. Well, never mind. Opponent's going to take a look at my hand and strip a card out. I can still win this game, though. It's 18 life versus 10. His board is filled with weak creatures, and I've got a handful of gas. And worst comes to worst, I can drop Double Board Belt, swing for 5 next turn with Fresh Face Recruit, force a block. And that gives me a 3/3 on the board as well. Or I could drop the... Well, I hate dropping the Piston Fist. Although I could. Then if he swings with the Assassin, I just Dazzling Lights the Assassin and block with the Piston Fist. And if he doesn't, then I have Dazzling Lights to bring the Piston Fist online. I guess it's all kind of moot until he finally picks a card. He picks the Rebel Belt. Good choice. I mean, I can't argue with that choice. Swing 3. I can't cast Whisper Agent, so don't even look. Swing with the fresh-faced recruit because it is a first strike creature. Now we'll go ahead and drop this. I mean, if he actually swings with the Assassin... Click the wrong land. Then I can actually just go ahead and block with the Electromancer rather than the Piston Fist. Glow Spore can block the Piston Fist pretty well unless I Dazzling Light it. Then, of course, Assassin's still online. That Assassin is irritating. Just so you know. 20, 25. Oops. He did. I guess he didn't mean to put a land on top of his deck. All creatures able to block him must do so. Well, crap. I don't get to choose which creature dies. He gets to choose. And that also means more damage gets through. Instead, we have them deciding, you know what? Oh. I'm trying to keep this halfway PG friendly, so I won't say what had come to mind, but let's just say that was a beautiful, beautiful draw of Cosmotronic Wave. It'll bring the Piston Fist Cyclops online, deal 1 damage to all of their creatures. And I can go ahead and swing. I'm going to be the Sultan of Swing. This is going to force a very difficult block for my opponent. Assassin's Trophy. Well, can't argue with that. Good pull. Good pull. We'll go double blue. That way I can actually cast the Wisp Watcher in the Mist and the Whisper Agent. In fact, now he brought Whisper Agent online. And now he is sitting at 2 life. She, he, she, it. And they're bringing their own Whisper Agent. Can you do me a favor and fill that with water? Oh, yeah. Click resolve, Steven. Don't be that person. I will need a drink. Now my son was kind enough to go fill my cup for me. Because he's awesome like that. Uh-oh. He's spending some time looking at my creatures, and I don't like that when that happens. Thank you. Whisper Agent on the board. Let's flash in. Or Beast Whisperer coming over. I will go ahead and keep Ionize on top because it is a great card. 3 versus 3. I'm going to go ahead and block and see what happens. Okay. Straight up block. He knows I have the Dazzling Light, but I'm going to go for the attack anyway. We're going to see a double block from the Strays. Nope. That's a first striker. There you go. He doesn't know how he wants to block it. I could save the Electromancer. I think I will. Because that gives me a look at my next 2 cards. Keep the Minotaur on top, surveil the mountain to the bottom. Piece of advice for all Magic players. Do not, repeat, do not ever be afraid to surveil crap to the graveyard. I see so many players afraid to do that. I'm not going to let him take a look with surveil. I'm just going to go ahead and Ionize that, which also kills him. So hey, after disastrous game 1, I managed to pull out games 2 and 3 and take 1 win. That was a long match. Now, let's take a look at this. We need to go ahead and, you know, I didn't have Wishcoin Crab in there before, but he is actually a really good blocker. So we're going to get rid of Unexplained Disappearance. We'll get rid of our Sure Strike like we did before, because we still have plenty of instants and sorceries to make this work. We are going to drop the Swamp. Let's see, Plains. No, Plains. Like we did last time, because I'm not going to use concoct. Connive is all I want. Looks pretty nice. Good job on your first chain. Now I still need to drop 2 cards. Let's see if I can remember what I dropped last time. I got rid of the Barging Sergeant because it's just not that exciting. Excuse me. I think I got rid of Response Resurgence. So now we're going to start round 2 as Jeskai. You know, I kind of find myself wishing now I had taken that second direct current. I think it would have been a little more useful than 1 or 2 of the other cards I currently have. My opponent wins the die roll again. And I get a hand that is less than exciting. But it's got 4 lands. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I don't know what my opponent's got, other than is it Guildgate right off the bat. Newsflash for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm terrible with mulligans. I really am. I don't mulligan nearly as often as I should. As you see, my opponent's got Nightveil Sprite right off the bat, which is great, and I'm not dropping anything till turn 4. On the plus side, though, the Dev Guardian and maybe a Candlelight Vigil on top of it is going to make him a very nice creature. All I got to do is watch out for removal. Opponent's going to play the Gateway Plaza. I'm not sold on Gateway Plaza at all. Just not. I guess if you're playing a multicolor deck, it's decent fixing. But I've seen way too many times when my opponent needed a land that didn't eat one of their other lands in order to do it. And it just constantly slowed them down 1 turn. House Guildmage. Again, a card I'm not too worried about. Alright, so now, finally, we are on the board. Next turn, I have the capability of dropping Hypothesizzle if I catch my opponent with their mana tapped. Because they're playing Izzet, they could have Sinister Sabotage, they could have Devious Cover-Up, they could even have a Ionize, just like me. I can afford to take a few hits still. And honestly, I'm not real sure I'm worried about Nightveil Sprite right off the bat. I really would like to get some aggression on the board. Start swinging. I know, it fixes their mana, and that's the thing that is going to bother me with Nightveil Sprite, is that Constant Surveil means they're fixing their draws. That's why it's such a great creature. I even play it in Standard. You don't see it often in Standard. There's the Devious Cover-Up. Told you. I'll go ahead and hold back a blocker now. That means whatever he had in his graveyard is shuffled back in. I don't know they actually had anything in his graveyard at this point. Now it should get a little bit easier, because we got 1 counterspell all the way, which doesn't mean he doesn't have more. There's the Wishcoin Crab. I can make this guy a 5, a 6 very easily. As low as mana as he is at the moment, and the fact that Dive Down doesn't exist in this format, I'm going to go ahead and Hypothesizzle when they're down to 1. And I will go ahead and drop the Whisper Agent because I can't cast it right now. And I will kill the Flyer. No more fixing your draws. You can be like me. Start getting whatever it is off top of your deck and being grateful for it. Because in my day, we didn't have Surveil. We didn't even have Scry. We just took whatever was on top of our deck and we liked it. Darkblade Agent. Like this creature too. Biggest problem is with House Guildmage, he now has a constant source of Surveil. Not this turn, thankfully. But I need to draw a little more mana if I'm going to make Ionize useful. I want to be dropping stuff every turn. I can't do that and keep Ionize up. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could drop a 4-drop and keep Ionize up. So let's drop the Hammer Dropper. That seems appropriate. Plus, Hammer Dropper can block the Darkblade Agent if he swings with it. And be assured of killing it. Because House Guildmage surveilling is going to be a problem. Yeah, I'll go ahead and... I hate losing my Mentor creature. But House Guildmage is going to be a pain if I don't. Dazzling Lights, I say no. I want the Darkblade Agent to die. And I don't want you to surveil either. So 18. Barring another trick, Darkblade Agent will die. Now it's safe for me to go ahead and just drop all my stuff on the board. There's no point in trying to hold up mana, pretending I have a counterspell and hurting myself in the process. So which... You're going to return the Hammer Dropper. Whatever floats your boat, dude. How about this? I take out your constant source of Surveil. Boom. Gone. Did you see that? Did you see that? Gone. Now watch closely as the Hammer Dropper makes a reappearance. That means I have a direct current in the graveyard still to ping on another creature off the board, but it won't kill the Darkblade Agent. And obviously he does not have another Surveil trick because he did not try. Or he wants to use it on defense. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to be a terrible human being and drop Candlelight Vigil on the Hammer Dropper. And I'll make an 8/4, force a double block no matter what. And mentor my little Death Guardian. You got a trick before combat. Maybe return it to my hand. Artful Takedown. Alright. He's going to go ahead and kill it. That's fine. Got it out of their hand. Disinformation campaign. Well, there goes my Book Devourer. Damn it. That would have been a nice creature to have. Although, 4/5, it's not going to be too easy to work with. I'll go ahead and swing and see what happens. Kind of curious. Alright, that's what I figured. Okay, let's say, are you going to end combat? Play my land and pass turn. Radical idea, jump start. I have 21, they have 20 now. Ugh, I need a flyer. Now the question is, when I draw draw Connive, what do I want? Do I want the Darkblade Agent? Seems like the one that could be the most use. Son of a gun. Now they can draw combat damage. Yeah, I screwed that up. Bad playing on my part. Here comes Disinformation Campaign. Of course, another hypothesis will be great for dealing with Darkblade Agent. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And that's the really bad part, is if I double block the Darkblade Agent, his Death Touch will kill both of them. I am rapidly falling behind in this game. Surveil to the graveyard to go down to 15 cards. You know what? No blocks. I'll let you draw your card. Maybe I can hold out till he decks. Because it doesn't seem like I'm going to win on damage at this rate. Especially when he keeps drawing all of his cards. Because now I have 20 in my library. He's got 13. I'll go ahead and pass with Dazzling Lights in hand. Because I can go ahead and Dazzling Lights the Darkblade Agent if he looks like he's going to Surveil. It's going to make my opponent wonder, I think. League Guildmage. That's going to be a bit of an issue. I may have to direct current that one. Nightveil Sprite. Because I can't let that copy effect work. That's going to be an issue. In combat. Direct current is a sorcery, so I can't cast it until my turn. I need another creature on the board if I'm going to hold him off. So we're going to go ahead and direct current. I hate discarding Dazzling Lights to do it. But League Guildmage plus copy, too bad. Too bad for me. Just bad, bad, bad. I just have to survive until he runs out of cards. 10 cards remaining in the deck. I'm hoping my opponent's not paying attention to that. This information campaign gets returned to hand. And I don't know if he's got a combat trick, but I'm going to go ahead and try and double block the agent to finish it off. If he does have a combat trick, this is bad for me. Obviously, the best answer would be Hypothesizal. Artful Takedown. There you go. I dropped to 11. This information campaign is going to drop him down to 9 cards. Now, playing out this game is, well, it's just going to be a pain in the butt. That's an interesting choice. I think he realizes now he's running out of cards. So I'll block the Wishcoin Crab. I need to draw creatures. I've drawn 7, 10, 11 of my 18 lands. Or my 17 lands, excuse me. This information campaign, draw a card, go to 6 cards in your library. How about Connive Concoct on that Darkblade Agent? See if he's got the counterspell. Looks like he's got a Devious Cover-Up. Okay, now I can't deck him in time. We'll go to game 2. So what have I got? A chance to try and make this a little more aggressive a deck, I think. We'll put in Maniacal Rage since I'm on the play now. See if well, I took a really slow hand that game, which did not help me. That's why you have mulligans, people. This is ugly. We'll mulligan it. This is better. We will keep it. We will scry that to the bottom because I need land. So if I get my third land, I can Piston Fist Cyclops turn 3. Turn 4 Direct Current, start swinging. That's if. Big if. Okay, that's going to slow him down a turn. And I did not draw my land. So let's see if I can... If he plays a creature, I can Dazzling Lights it. Surveil 2. There we go. Look for land. 2 mountains. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. We're going to start off with Direct Current to keep him from surveilling. The next turn I can drop either the Wishcoin Crab or the Piston Fist. Let's go ahead and drop Piston Fist, I think. Gives me a great blocker against a 1/4, whereas Wishcoin Crab just bounces off. There's land number 4. So, Piston Fist Cyclops hits the board. We'll leave the blue up. Pretend I have Dazzling Light still. The best thing would be an island next turn. Then I can drop Watcher in the Mist and really be in good shape. Worst comes to worst, I can Direct Current the House Guild Mage. Well, never mind on Watcher. Thought Erasure is pretty sure he'll take the Watcher in the Mist. He might take the Hellkite Whelp. But I think the Mist is a better creature right now. There it is. I'm thinking I may Direct Current the Guild Mage. Discard the Wishcoin Crab. And swing with Piston Fist. There's land number 5. Wishcoin Crab's not as useful. Hellkite Whelp can come down next turn. Piston Fist says hi to his face. Or to her face, whichever. And with any luck, they don't have another way to make me discard that Hellkite Whelp. Why do I get the feeling they are fixing to counter my Hellkite Whelp? I really feel the Devious Cover-Up is strong with this one. Now, I have the Disdainful Stroke for the Devious Cover-Up, but I need a extra couple of mana to be able to cast it. There's one of them. Maniacal Rage will not allow the Piston Fist to swing. It needs to be an instant or sorcery, not a non-creature spell. So if I get an untapped land, I could do it. I could tap 4, 5. Nope. Yeah, I can. One more land, I can cast Hellkite Whelp and leave Disdainful Stroke up for the Devious Cover-Up. If memory serves, he didn't have too much in the way of removal. There's Hypothesizzle. I think I'll pass. At the end of the turn, I can Hypothesizzle the Dimir Informant and try and bait it out. Unless he decides to do something else. Notion Rain? No, Notion Rain's cool. Take 2. I still leave 4 mana up for the spell. Of course, then I can't attack with Hypothesizzle or with the Piston Fist. So I may actually wait till their turn to cast it. Let's do Goblin Electromancer. They'll allow it. Pass turn. That drops Hypothesis down to 4 mana and Disdainful Stroke down to 1. They're missing a good source of red mana. They have Gateway Plaza, but that's it. Okay. So Piston Fist goes bye-bye. Big deal. Veil Sprite. Double blue. That's going to help a little bit. So, let's go for this. This is sure to draw the Devious Cover-Up, which is going to get stroked. That's going to force him to have to do some bigger tricks in order to get it off the board. Disinformation campaign. Well, Maniacal Rage can go. I want my Hypothesizzle. Let's see what he's going to play. Artful Takedown. Oh, there goes the Hellkite Whelp. So we're going to go ahead and Hypothesizzle his Night Veil Sprite in response. Discarding Ionize. I know, Ionize would be better to save for the Disinformation campaign, but I really need the Whisper Agent as a creature, although it can't get past the Dimir Informant. Son of a gun. I gotta think this stuff through. There goes the damn Disinformation campaign back to hand. At least I have a mountain to discard. This feels an awful lot like I'm going to go to 1-1 unless I can draw answers soon. I've already lost my two biggest flyers. Take one, go to 19. Of the two, Book Devourer is the better. Devious Cover-Up. God, what does he return? Yeah, screw this. I've lost already. I'm not enjoying that game against the heavy control Dimir matchup. I'm just going to move on to game 3, or match 3. Decks like that drive me up the wall. And honestly, with two more Artful Takedowns back in his hand, or back in his deck, and lots of card draw, I'm pretty sure I'm not keeping a creature on the board anymore. Hey, I actually get to play first for once. I mean, it's not a hand that's necessarily great, but I get to play first. Opponent's going to go to 6. And scry to the bottom. And the stinking Healer's Hawk. Oh, why didn't I cast Goblin Electromancer? I'm all tilted now. I'm going to go ahead and keep his Life Gamer off the bat and Surveil too. I gotta see what I got coming. Surveil both of them away. Piston Fist gives me a decent blocker. Yes, I can't block your Healer's Hawk. Don't worry. Alright, we are going to drop the Boros Locket. And then he's mana screwed. So that's going to hurt him. We're going to go ahead and drop the Electromancer that I should have dropped and been attacking with. But I'm an idiot. There's the mana number 3. And a Vernati Shieldmate. Alright. I won't swing into the Shieldmate because I want to keep my Ionize up. And if the Electromancer dies, I can't. So whatever I have here, I need to keep. Oh, I could have. Come to think of it, Ionize. I could have cast with Boros Locket. Mistake after mistake after mistake. Torch Courier is not a spell I'm going to counter. The Dev Guardian is a spell I'm going to counter, though. I go to 21, and I've now got an empty hand. And a mountain. Well, the mountain at least lets me crack the Boros Amulet at the end of the turn. We'll go ahead and swing with both my creatures, see if I can trade Shieldmate with Electromancer. Okay. Because I don't really need the Electromancer as much. I've got plenty of mana. End of turn, we'll crack the Boros Locket. I know it gets rid of my only white source of mana, though, but I need cards. I don't have any need for the white mana right now, anyway. Alright, Eskilmo. You keep looking at your Healer's Hawk, I get it. What are you doing? Candlelight Vigil? Burging Sergeant. Bad for me, good for the Healer Hawk. I fully expect an attack and a Mentor on the Healer Hawk, because that would make the most sense. And I can go to blockers finally, thank you. Alright. What I need is Direct Current, Hypothesizzle, something to take the shoot that Healer's Hawk out of the air. Well, I get a Cosmotronic Wave, which is not that useful now that the Healer's Hawk has been mentored. But I will take out the Torch Courier. So I might as well go ahead and swing. More life gain. Alright, this feels like a game I can still win if I can draw the right cards. That is not the right card. Six lands. Gain 3 more. There we go! The Hypothesizzle right off the top. Of course, I'm desperately afraid that they're going to have some kind of a pump spell to save it, but I need to try. No guts, no glory. I can't block, that's correct. Draw 2. Discard Whisper Agent. Shoot the Healer's Hawk, maybe? Yes! Oh. Opponent is flooded out now. And I can begin doing some damage back. Plus I have a Hypothesis in hand for the next big creature they play. Thankfully, Banefire is not in this format with all that mana he's got up and available. And now I'm going to go ahead and flood too. But I've got board advantage at the moment. 11-8. I've got 9 lands in play and 1 in my hand. Conclave Tribunal sucks to be me. That's going to slow me down. My turn. And I'll drop the Hammer Dropper. Thanks to that Guildgate earlier, I actually have white mana. Now he's going to be like, crap, I should have that Conclave Tribunal back in my hand, but, you know, how can you expect that somebody's going to drop a Hammer Dropper all of a sudden? You got to face what's on the board now, instead of worrying about what may come down later. Or you just draw another Conclave Tribunal. You know, that works too. Connive, Concoct. Well, I guess the first creature he drops that has 2 power or less I can steal. So if he ended up drafting Aurelia, this could be a nice blowout. Instead we have the Goblin Crater Maker. That one will get connived in a heartbeat. Do I go ahead and Hypothesis it now? You know, I think I will. I really want to get all the damage I can through, plus draw 2 is very nice. I'm going to decline to kill it, because I want to keep both the cards in my hand. Well, Direct Current deals with the Goblin Crater Maker cleanly, without having to use Connive on it. Plus it gives me another way to deal 2 damage to him as needed. 2 damage to my Smelt Ward Minotaur, yep. Not a big surprise there. Go ahead and cast the Dev Guardian before combat like a doofus. And now we'll swing. Alright, I am threatening lethal on the board with 4 damage, with 4 power, and a Direct Current. Yep. Alright. Go to game 2. Chances of me having a Plains in my opening hand for Healer Hawk are low. That just kind of feels weak. This is the first decent hand I've seen in a while, assuming I remember to cast Goblin Electromancer on turn 2. That's the rub. Oh, don't start lagging. I know you got your memory leak and all, but still. The silly thing is I actually have not successfully cast Book Devourer yet. So we got a Husband Marshal. That'll get stopped short by the Electromancer. Never mind. It still will. It's just Vernati's Shieldmate is... Oh, excuse me. Also going to slow me down. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it, even though it's going to slow me down from Hypothesis. Really? But I need to keep him from getting too many creatures on the board for the Hostile Marshal. So we're going to see Piston Fist come down as a blocker. We'll see if that's a mistake. I do have Direct Current up now. And they're going to go ahead and attack. They could have a pump spell to blow me out a bit, or they could just be looking at making a lot of lifelink creatures. Nope, that's all they wanted, was to make lifelink creatures. As soon as I get 4 mana, I am going to steal that Healer's Hawk. For the moment, I'm going to set my mana up. He's got a lot of little piddly creatures that I can take out with the Cosmotronic Wave. So we'll see if I draw that now. It's a humongous blowout. Barring that, I do have Boros Locket available now to be able to cast Hypothesis on something. I will go ahead and block the Hazda Marshal and let him gain some life, because once I gain control of the game, it's not going to matter how much life he actually has. There is the Connive Concoct for Healer's Hawk. It was very, very sweet of you to offer me a Healer's Hawk. Really, really, I mean seriously, honestly, dude. And I will go ahead and keep the Piston Fist Cyclops up as a blocker. I don't need to be taking too much damage yet. But Healer's Hawk is going to start gaining me a little bit of life and start pinging his stuff off the board, or pinging him a point of damage at a time. That'll get Hypothesizzled, because I don't need a Vigilance Flying Mentor creature coming over and beating face every turn. He's running out of gas quite quickly. I can very much foresee Book Devourer hitting the bin. I know he's a big creature, but I've managed more by playing on the margins, basically. He's going to go ahead and swing for whatever damage he can get. Alright. Drop me to 10. That's probably not a bad play, necessarily. I do not need my opponent getting the Parhelion Patrol online. So of all those, I know I can recast Direct Current if I put it in the graveyard, but I've got the Watcher in the Mist now. So we're going to go ahead and gain 1. Watcher in the Mist comes down next turn. Oh, that's bad. So there goes my poor Piston Fist Cyclops, because I need to take out that Barging Sergeant now. I can't wait until I have a Direct Current going. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a mountain. We're going to go ahead and Direct Current a 2/2 soldier with lifelink. Then we're going to go ahead and take out the other one with Direct Current, discarding my mountain. And I'm going to go ahead and leave Healer's Hawk up to block the Torch Courier or whatever else he may have coming. Then next turn I'll drop Watcher in the Mist and try and rebuild. Let's block it. I go to 8. Assuming you don't have a combat trick. Alright. You do. No, nothing set up for Disdainful Stroke, unfortunately. I can't help that. I don't need that island. Smeltward Minotaur, yes, I will keep that. I may be cracking the Boros Locket here pretty soon, because I've got plenty of mana. Clearly not this turn. Fresh-faced recruit. Seems good. Boom, boom, boom. That means I can't crack the Boros Locket, but that's alright. I'd rather have a defense on the board than worry about the Locket and keep Disdainful Stroke up. Last thing I need is some big card to blow me out here. Opponent will not do anything. I will go ahead and pass turn again. We're both in top deck mode, but I think I have the advantage at this point. Healer's Hawk is an annoyance, but that's fine. Sacrifice the Boros Locket. Draw 2. I am definitely behind on cards in the library. I've got a smaller library. And I draw 2 lands. But then the Hellkite Whelp off the top. The Hellkite Whelp is going to be big, because I'm going to be able to start pinging things off the board. Still going to play it very cautious and very safe at this point. I can't afford not to. Come on, opponent. I really need to use the restroom. Gird for battle. Well, that makes things a little more difficult on me, because Healer's Hawk is now not going to be pingable. But, tell you what. We are going to go ahead and take out the Healer's Hawk, because I don't need him gaining more life. I will draw down to 14 cards in my library. Come on, opponent. And I have to discard Disdainful Stroke as I draw more land. Well, if you gotta, you gotta. Combat, we'll do that. Ping off the Torch Courier. If I draw the Cosmotronic Blast at this point, or Cosmotronic Wave rather, I can swing with Hellkite Whelp after casting it and kill off the recruits. So, cards left in the library is 14. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands on the board and 2 in my hand, so I only should have 5 or so left in the library. There we go. Cosmotronic Wave. That creature can't block this turn. I'm going to even take the risk on swinging out. We'll see what happens. My opponent concedes. Whew, that was a long game. Alright, I'm going to put you all on mute real quick, because I need to run to the restroom, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, apologize for the delay, but I will now not float away. So, I'm at 2 wins. I just need 1 more win to hit the break-even point. So let's see if I can do this. And also see if I can avoid knocking my headset off like I almost did. Orchadiave? I have no idea how to pronounce your name. But, hi. This is not the best, but it's keepable. they're going to mull to 6. Now, it feels bad to have my opponent mulligan, but at the same time, I see the chances of me winning going up whenever that happens. So I really can't feel too bad about it. Rearrange my hand slightly. Disable stroke needs to be at the front. So they are, at the very least, on Golgari. We'll go ahead and drop a mountain. We have the Cosmotronic Wave already. I didn't used to not think too much of that card, but it has really been on the increase for me. I'm going to take the risk that they won't be able to pump the Dimir Spybug up too much before I can direct current it, but I really wanted to get a creature on the board. Really. I'm going to go ahead and discard the direct current because I can jumpstart it. I love Burglar Rat. I so love Burglar Rat. Just so you know. I used to play it back in Mercadian Masks when it was called Relentless Rats. We'll go ahead and do the wave now, because that'll wipe his board. And let me swing. You gotta hit resolve, dude. Because clearly you have something, but I don't know what it is. Dazzling Lights. Okay, so you're going to keep me off the attack. Oh, and now let you surveil to save your Dimir Spybug. So, nice on you. Not so great for me. If I draw land number 5, I may just hypothesis that thing off the board. Guess I wasn't thinking of Dazzling Lights. So now, it will survive. The Burglar Rats dies, and my blowout doesn't happen. If he gets another Surveil trick in play, that's going to affect it. Now I wish I had that wave back. We're going to go ahead and drop the Whelp, because the Whelp can deal with the Bartizan Bats, and I can deal with Dimir Spybug next turn. Spybug is a good creature in Limited from what I found. Oh, really, dude? Really? You gotta be that person? Alright, fine. This is the way you want it to be. Let's direct current, discarding the mountain. And deal with the Bartizan Bats. And since it doesn't matter anyway, may as well go ahead and swing 2. Another Dimir Spybug is bad for me. Good for him. We will at least take one of them off the board here. I'm going to go ahead and do it on my turn. While the mana is not up, because it does prevent his other Spybug from blocking thanks to Smelt Ward. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Dazzling Lights. We'll shoot that 2/2 out of the air. Now I'm going to need to draw another kill spell for the other Spybug. My opponent appears to be drawing a little bit light on creatures. Oh, I wish I had the Hellkite Whelp up and running again. Or just in general. Opponent's going to take some time to think about this. And they're going to go ahead and swing and try and race me, I guess. And there I drew a Hypothesisal. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass... Oh, shoot. I want to attack, not pass turn completely. One card in hand. What do you think the chances are that they have it? Let's find out if they have a counterspell. Discarding the Book Devourer because it's the least useful creature I have. Target your Dimir Spybug. They will surveil 2. And we will hope that I don't need to stroke something. Land and pass. Excelente. So we are going to go ahead and drop the Piston Fist now, and I'll Whisper Agent in at the end of turn. This allows me to keep Disdainful Stroke up, but still pull a threat in. And it appears he's flooding. Bad. Which is, bad for them, great for me. We'll surveil that mountain to the graveyard. Plains. Really? Really? I have enough creatures. I'm going to go ahead and swing with what I've got. Hold back Disdainful Stroke to prevent a blowout. Because anything low casting cost to cast now I probably can handle. I'm more worried about him dropping something big like a Doom Whisperer. Fresh Face Recruit is okay. Put the pressure on. They're down to 4, so lethal on board. Ritual of Soot, come to think of it. If he has a Ritual of Soot, that would be bad for me. And they will go ahead and concede game 1. Just go ahead and go for it. My stream health is not as high as I'd like it to be, but it's probably because I'm recording at the same time that I'm streaming this game. Looks like there's about a 40-second delay at the moment between what I'm seeing in the preview. My opponent is taking their full time to think about it. I actually don't know how long it gives you to sideboard between games. I don't think I've ever checked it out. I don't know if it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes. My opponent gets to choose to play first, presumably. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. This deck I'm seeing so far does not tend to mulligan well. It's probably a little too heavy on the upper end of the curve. I guess I really don't have anybody to blame but myself for that. And there's that second turn Spybug again. Drop island number 2. I can drop him out next turn and Whisper Agent at the end of turn. Untap. Drop Hammer Dropper. And there's a Pitiless Gorgon. Alright. So we'll go ahead and pass. We'll probably be able to play Whisper Agent straight into the path of that Pitiless Gorgon. And get rid of it. 4 blockers. Whisper Agent. Devious Cover-Up, maybe? Sinister Sabotage? Nope. But he may have a Dazzling Lights. So we'll see. If he does, that's an issue, but not one that's insurmountable. I don't need another land. Thank you. I appreciate the offer. I really do. Dazzling Lights. Looks like it's coming online. Yep. Veil 2 to do more damage. I can drop Ladev Guardian in place of it. And the next turn after that, I have Hypothesis online for the Dimir Spy Bug. See if he's... Nope, he doesn't have another one of those, so... That's good for me, bad for them. Undercity Necrolisk. Can only do that ability as an instant, so that works for me to be able to Hypothesizzle. Alright, I'm actually going to discard the Wish Coin Crab, even if it has a big fat butt. You can't sack it to the Necrolisk. I will take 3 more. That's, you know, that's exactly what I was talking about before. And the worst problem is I don't know that I have an easy way to handle it in this deck. I really needed to counterspell it before it hit the board. So it's looking an awful lot like I have lost this game. Just the Doom Whisperer. I guess he doesn't need to worry about anything else. And that will do it. Alright, we'll go to game 3. Alright. So, we're going to want an extra counterspell for that. And maybe Sure Strike. Get rid of Candlelight Vigil. Because as soon as he gets to 5 or 6, well, 5 mana, I guess, is what the Doom Whisperer costs. So as soon as he gets to 5, I need to have a counterspell in hand and hold it up for the Doom Whisperer. No ifs, ands, or buts. I will play first. I will take this hand because if I can get a mountain, I have Ionize. And I have Goblin Electromancer as well. He mulls to 5. And to the bottom. Well, maybe this will work out for me. And there's the red mana. I may actually go for Boros Locket turn 3 instead of Electromancer, because that'll help serve my mana up a little bit more. And then I can drop the Electromancer next turn and be able to keep Ionize up. Or, even better yet, really? Alright, Rebel War Belt gives me a good blocker against his stuff. Necrolisk is a 3/3. Goblin Electromancer, pass turn. I can stop worrying as much once I counter the Doom Whisperer. We'll go ahead and block. We'll trade. Second main. Crawl Swarm. 4/1 flyer. Really can't do much about that, because he can just discard a creature card to bring it back. I'm going to take the risk, because Hellkite Whelp can keep it off the board completely. And if he drops Doom Whisperer, I got no one to blame but myself. I really need a little more mana to make sure. Okay. Dimir Locket is fine. Capture Spear is annoying. There's another land. Hammer Dropper gives me a nice beefy creature. I still have 2 mana up for Boros Locket. Or I mean not Boros Locket, but I've got for Ionize. No, I can't. I gotta have something on the board. I know I'm running the risk of Doom Whisper, but damn it, I gotta get something going here. And I can't do it if he's just constantly trapping my creatures. Scroll Swarm gonna swing? It will. Well, time to go ahead and just play out my hand. I no longer have a counterspell. Swing and Mentor. He'll block with the Darkblade Agent for sure. He may even have a Dazzling Lights or something else. Nope. And all I really can do at this point is try and race him. I will be able to almost crack the Boros Locket if I can get another wider red source. Go to 6. There's the Doom Whisperer. There's the Devious Cover-Up. 1 friggin' turn too late. Well, good game. So I got some good cards out of it, made back half my gems, but still, it's kind of just disappointing to go 3-2, or 2-2. Well, let's see if I get something good out of the packs. Ah, an uncommon wild card plus an uncommon wild card is great. And we got Thousand Year Storm. Woohoo. I'm not a big fan of that card. I really am not. So, we got a gold wild card. I'll take that. Definitely. And a Trata the Silencer, which is, yeah. Alrighty, I'm going to let y'all go now. I've been doing this for 2 hours. I may still try and do something else tonight, but I don't think it'll be streaming. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching me go 2-2 and really just kind of suck at this. So, have a good evening, and I'll be posting this up on my YouTube page. You can find me under the name ExParrot42.